Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know you guys have been looking forward to doing some more laminate, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try to laminate some Ned rigs. So we have a couple of our epic bait molds here. We have the 2.75 inch Ned Crawler, as well as the 2.5 inch Ned Craw, which is more of a crawdad style versus the more slender worm-like design of that 2.75. So we're going to try to laminate both of these molds today. And I've got a red plum spin off here that I'm going to use as one side and a chartreuse that I'm going to use on the other side because I've always wanted to do these in a laminate and I've just never got around to doing it. So that's what we're going to try, see if we can get these to laminate well. I think the 2.75 is going to laminate a little better because it is symmetrical on both sides and this other one is not. So we'll just kind of have to see how that plays out, but we'll get those hot here in just a second, as well as I'm going to give you a close-up of some lures that were sent to me for you guys to check out. They are super awesome, and we'll just dive right into that. All right, I love checking out stuff from you guys, and when somebody sends me stuff that follows the channel, I love checking it out. So this is G-Sauce Lure Co., and I am friends with them over on Instagram, and they sent me some stuff to check out. This is an amazing looking swim jig. The head on that thing just looks awesome. And I love the shad colors in this skirt. And I actually like, if you can see it, that it has a clear weed guard. I don't see a lot of those, so to me that is interesting. And I really think that kind of adds to the colors on the swim jig for sure. So there's that. Also sent spinnerbait. Can't go wrong with a spinnerbait. I don't have any spinnerbaits this color either, so I'm kind of curious to throw these. I think I'm going to do a video when I go fishing hopefully next time and throw some of these baits, see if we can catch some fish on them. Got some hooks here. These are very high quality, it feels like. They're very thick, and I do like that about them. I've already checked these out, so I'm just kind of sharing my initial opinions with you guys. Got a bladed jig here. Nice. I like the black and blue. Black and blue is a really faithful color, and it's hard to go wrong with some good black and blue. And we got some heads here. These are two different sizes. We got a 3/16 and a 1/4 ounce. And I love throwing heads like this on swim baits, especially like a slouch or maybe even a slick swim would be amazing on these. I throw my slouch on a little bigger version of this just because I've been fishing deep. But yeah, that is a great way to rig those. And we have one with a underspin, and that is another awesome way to rig the slouch for sure. If I can't get them to bite without the blade, sometimes I'll throw one with a blade, and that will end up doing it. So big shout out to G-Sauce Lure Co. Check them out on Instagram. I'll try to leave a link in the description, but they have some really nice looking hard baits, and you can see that one has some orange on it there. But yeah, big shout out to them. Thanks for sending me some stuff to check out, and I will do some fishing content with it. So here's a real brief look at the color on these. That red one has more flake in it, but I got to stir it up, and I'm just showing you just a real brief look before we do our first injection. All right, let's check the temperature on these real fast. We want them nice and cool as we can get them. That right there is about 325. And this other one, what is in my cup? Get out of my cup. This one is about 315. So I'm gonna stir this other one for just a second and then we will come back when we're ready to inject. All right, these are both up to temperature and I have them at about 310 right now, which is kind of where I like to be. Seems to work out pretty good right there. With this first mold, the 2.75 it's symmetrical, so it doesn't really matter which side is which, but you normally want to pay attention to that for sure. Let's see. Now let's just go in here like that. Okay, I heard them fill up. Made a huge mess because apparently I drew some air up when I did this one, but that's okay. That's kind of why you want to burp, because if you don't, you can get a big air pocket in there and then you'll just get a predominant one color. So I will clean up this giant mess I made over there here in a minute, but that's okay. Okay, demold time. You can't really tell much about the sprue because I topped it off with a solid color, but let's crack this thing open and hope we got a good laminate. Let's see here. Ooh. Well, It did laminate really well. So check that out. That is just very different. Watch what happens when I flip this over. It looks like motor oil. That is the strangest thing I think I've seen in quite a long time. That looks like motor oil. It has that red-green look that motor oil has, and that's just not what I expected at all. I mean, look at that. That has a motor oil look, and there is no motor oil in this, so that's very intriguing. But we flip it over, and then you can see more of that red coming through. And you can see our laminate lines are looking pretty dang nice, if you ask me. That is a good crawl looking color too. It's got that darker underside, which if you've seen crawdads, yeah, they have that weird color underneath, and that is kind of cool. I really wasn't expecting these to turn out like that. I don't really know what I was expecting, but I think I was expecting the chartreuse to show up more like this. Okay, same laminate in the 2.5-inch Ned Craw. This time, direction does matter, so we need to keep that in mind. I think I've got it set up right. So, let's see if we can pull these up again. Okay. I'm going to see if I can burp them in the cup this time. Okay, there's that. Now, let's go into here like this. And heard a good fill up. I think that felt pretty even, best I can tell. I got the block a little hotter this time too, which should have helped. Using the heat gun to heat it up, and that definitely makes a difference. Let's demold the smaller version real fast. Ooh, those laminated good. I actually think these laminated better than the other ones. I'm sure it was my execution. But check that out. That is cool on that white. That is neat. That's a neat color right there. There is the chartreuse side, which, like I said, looks like motor oil. What a weird way to create a motor oil look-alike. And it's only this one side. You flip it over and it doesn't really have as much motor oil look. It's more red. But that right there has an extreme motor oil look to it. And this is just a red plum and chartreuse laminate. They look pretty dang sweet, actually. I'm going to have a hard time parting with these. Okay, check these out. That is what they look like on the mold. You can see the laminate a little better from that angle. But I am pretty impressed with the craw color that actually brought out. It kind of turned the red more of an orangey color and toned down the chartreuse to make this weird orangey chartreuse color that somehow looks green from the backside. But yeah, that is the Ned Craw. And let me show you the Ned Crawler. Okay, here is a look at the Ned Crawler, the bigger of the two. But yeah, not bad. I love how the orange is popping out of that red. It kind of got more of a copper color than a red plum. I think that chartreuse kind of got in there and changed it up a little bit. But I am very pleased with that. I'm going to have a hard time not putting these in my tackle box because they look so dang good. I brought the shop light down here a little closer so that you could see what it looks like in the sun. I think that's a worthy color to try as a laminate. If you happen to have a red plum and a chartreuse laying around, laminate them together and see what you come up with. And it seems like it makes a nice craw imitation for sure. So guys, that pretty much wraps it up. If you want to pick up any of the molds we used today, there'll be a link in the description where you can head on down there and do that. If you want to pick up one of these hoodies, there'll be a link in the description for that as well. I don't like to sell anything that I haven't had my hands on, so this is the only design on the store currently. I'm waiting on some samples for some other stuff, for some t-shirts, and for some different designs, as well as some stickers. But I don't like to sell stuff, like I said, if I haven't had my hands on it, felt it, looked at the quality, and that's kind of why we're limited to one design at the moment. But we do have more stuff on the way. If you choose that you want to represent, then you can head on down there and do that. I don't control the shipping prices. I've tried to keep everything as cheap as I can. I don't make barely anything on these. But if it is something that you like, there'll be a link down there, and I do appreciate all your support. If you want to pick up any baits from me, I pretty well keep all of this stuff in stock all the time. The couple bags you see missing, I went ahead and made tonight. They just went out of stock, and now they're right back in. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. hoping to have some more whip wads and sleigh baits on the store as well, because those seem to be selling really quick. So I think you guys are really enjoying those. If you like the video, like and subscribe. It does help the channel out. We are going on up to 1,500 subs, and I do appreciate every one of you that have stuck around. And if you want a little insight, since you stuck around all the way to the end, we're going to be doing some hard baits here on the channel. I've got an airbrush, I've got a compressor, I've got blanks, I've got Createx paint. So we're going to be learning how to airbrush. I'm going to build a bench on this side, a little bit of an airbrush station. I'm trying to leave this bay big enough that I can get my truck in here, so the bench can't be very wide, because I still do my oil changes and stuff in here, and I don't want to have to pull the boat out of that side to do my oil changes and whatnot. But I think we can clear at least 2 foot here, which will be enough for a nice bench, nice paint rack, and I think that's kind of the route we're going to go with that. I would like to get some of that cardboard paper that's in the rolls, and you can roll it down and spray onto it, so it keeps your workspace clean, because I do have white walls, so they're going to pick up and show paint really bad if we're not careful. I think that's going to be a good way. If you are watching and you do hard baits, drop in the comments below what you think is a good clear coat. Probably a dip clear coat of some sort, but if you have any recommendations, I would love to hear them. I don't know anything about doing this, so it's a complete learning experience as far as the hard baits go, so I would appreciate any insight you do have for that. But until the next episode, I will catch you guys in the next video.